G'day guys, welcome back to the Two Wheel Zoo. We've got the bikes behind us, we've taken them out for the day. Episode 2 today, so we're going to talk more about the bikes and more about the challenge.
That's it. Trip starts in a week, we're heading off to Phillip Island, can't wait.
Absolutely. MotoGP, here we go.
There.
We do finally have a name, the Two Wheel Zoo. It's rather fitting.
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a menagerie sitting here at Nick and Sapphire's place today. We've got a bit of everything, so
we do.
And definitely there's a couple of primates.
Real animals.
That have been lobbing around here.
Real animals
today
in there.
On a couple of questionable machines, let's put it.
Absolutely.
Let's put it all on the
Absolutely. And that's what this episode's about. It's about the machines, about the challenge, and a little bit about ourselves. All right, so a little bit more about ourselves. So I'm Nick, this is Chris, brothers.
How are you?
Number of bikes, number of different adventures, and today's about the challenge. And we decided probably about 6 months ago that we wanted to hit the GP, and we wanted to make it a little bit more interesting than just fly over, jump on a grandstand and have a watch. So
or buying, $10,000 fit for purpose touring bikes.
Yeah. So once we locked in, we wanted to ride.
Yeah.
We decided that, anyone can go buy a fit for purpose bike and head over there, and it's probably rather enjoyable.
It's comfortable, efficient.
Yep. Yeah. No risk.
Low anxiety.
No risk, no anxiety.
Risk,
yep. And we decided that's not for us.
No.
It's not the type of people we are. So we
Spice
decided
it up.
to make it a little more interesting, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
Had a lot of questions and comments about the challenge itself. How much is it? What's included? What's not? There's no way you could do that for $5,000, Nick. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about it? Take us through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we were coming up with the challenge, there was a bit of debate over what the budget should be. We wanted to make it...
How much did you want to make it? Let's be honest.
I was leaning towards 6. I was leaning towards 6 initially.
And I was leaning towards 3.
3. And
so where did we meet?
We met at 5. We met at 5. And we met at 5, but 5 inclusive of all camping gear.
Yeah. So it's a bike, purchase costs, maintenance.
Yep.
And any fit out on the bike. So any accessories, bags, anything that you need to either fix up or put on the bike to make sure you can pack all your gear.
Yeah, that's right.
And then on top of that, all the camping gear. So Nick, you've gone with
I've gone the swag setup. So I've gone the biker swag.
Classic setup, isn't it?
Classic setup. Very fit for purpose. I don't know if it's my purpose, but it's a purpose. We will be seeing more about that camping equipment in episode 3, though.
Yep.
This episode is more about the bikes and the bikes, what we were able to get for the budget.
Yep.
What maintenance we have found either during the purchase or after the purchase that we require.
I'm really interested in the philosophy of the decision as well, because I know there was a lot of mind games. There was a long run up to the purchase cutoff, really. We basically had, I think, 3 or 4 months.
There was 3 or 4 months, and there was a strategy. Anyone who's bought and sold bikes before knows coming into winter, and in winter is a horrible time to sell, and the rationale there was that it was a great time to buy. The market, COVID changed the market a little bit. The market was a little bit more challenging.
It was buoyant.
It was buoyant, very buoyant.
It was a seller's market, I would call it.
At the time, it was a seller's market.
So we had some funny experiences. There's some stories, some which we'll be able to probably tell, some that we probably shouldn't, just in case any of the punters find this video. But let's just say we sampled some of Perth's finest $3,000 to $4,500 two-wheel offering. All right, so let's start with, we quickly revealed last week or last episode who bought what, but it wasn't super clear. We didn't quite capture the right footage needed to tell the story properly, so we had a few questions on that. We're here to answer it. So Nick, what did you buy?
So I've got behind me ZZR 1200, the last of the big bike Kawasaki Carbis. The sports bikes.
And what a beauty it is.
It is.
That is a face.
It's a face a mother could love.
At least one mother would love that face.
One mother.
Yeah. We haven't met her yet, but if you are that person, reach out.
Yeah, please write to us.
Yeah.
But no, it's a face to be desired. It's a tail to be desired.
A face to be desired.
Yeah, for someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Righto.
Not me, but so
you haven't gone for looks.
I haven't gone for looks. So as we discussed in the intro last time, I went for I was going down the reliability path. I wanted an element of comfort, element of speed, element of reliability.
And so I tipped you with a grey V-Strom 1000.
Grey V-Strom 1000.
Not too far off.
Oh, funny you should mention that one of the bikes that fell through was a silver V-Strom 1000.
Had a feeling of that.
So
Had a cheeky feeling that was. We haven't told that story yet. I haven't told that to you either. But so it wasn't far off the guess. That was. So
I mean, it was a little bit
the classic Japanese 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
You've gone for as much power and as little age as you could get away with in your budget. And you put as much money into a bike as probably any sensible human would do before they're really sleeping under a tarp.
Yeah. So I really went the high end of the budget, leaving myself an amount of money left, knowing.
Educated.
But what about yourself?
So I've bucked the assumptions and all predictions, and I've bought myself a 2006 Yamaha V-Star 1100 Custom. I think that's it, yeah. XVS.
They did a classic as well.
There was a classic as well. I found that out the other day when I went to try and buy a tyre for it, different size.
Different size, yeah.
Different size.
Yeah.
And the tyre has caught me out a bit, but more on that in a sec. But you know, it's a Japanese bike. You did pick that. Yeah. So I've gone for the metric cruiser.
I got Yamaha as well.
Yeah, the philosophy there for me is I don't want to lose my licence, and you did call that out. That was a huge concern for me. You know, the last thing I'd want to do is, you know, ruin my holiday on day one with an unfortunate encounter. And really, given the journey and the type of trip that I want to have, I really just want to relax and take it all in. So for me, there was two ways I could guarantee that, and that was to really restrict the sort of outright horsepower and increase the weight of the bike. But the third reason is really and this is a classic family joke here, but I've always wanted to get myself a Harley Road King, and I've never been able to pull the trigger on the price of them. I mean, they're ridiculous, aren't they? They are really expensive. So this is about as close as I could get so it's affectionately getting known now as the King Junior or the Prince.
The Prince, yeah. The Prince. When you think, so we've got 3 year apart Japanese bikes sitting behind us.
Carbureted.
You would not believe it, would you, looking at the two? Both carby.
Yep.
Yours is obviously a twin. Mine's a
V-twin.
4.
Classic V-twin. I
Classic
think I'm right. I think I'm
V-twin.
putting down a solid 58 horsepower.
I did have a look.
On a good day.
I had a look at the specs.
Yeah, what am I?
I had a look at the specs. Not good.
Yeah, no.
Not good.
How's the torque though?
Not good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
No, both stats.
We're on the Grom today with it.
Both stats not good, and I knew it wasn't good when I was comparing the specs of the two bikes, and your bike didn't actually list a quarter mile time.
Well, why would you? Maybe we should take it down to Whoop Ass Wednesday this week.
We should, yeah.
Oh, what a waste of an entry.
What a waste of $65.
Take 2 bikes out. Have some fun. Have some fun after that. They'll probably boot me off the track for doing fucking sub 20 or something.
Yeah. They'll start 20. The next run, and you'll still pull over to the left as they shoot you past.
Take the toe off exit. You predicted that I bought a FZR.
That's right. Yeah, phaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed the mark.
A little bit wrong.
Missed the mark.
A little bit of a gap.
Missed the mark. But I have a feeling you got desperate. I have a feeling that...
But the fact is I was never looking at bikes like what you're talking about.
Interesting.
I didn't look at a single Black Hawk.
Blackbird.
Black
Hawk's a helicopter, so let's not look at those.
Clearly I didn't look
outside of the budget.
Clearly I didn't look at them, but they were a great troll for you. They were a great way to get your mind in the top of the horsepower bracket.
You threw me as far as what you were, kind of pushing me towards thinking about.
So let's talk a bit about each of the bikes, the background. So you've gone down, you've grabbed your ZZR 1200. Was it love at first sight, or was it love at, oh shit, there's 6 days to go and I need a bike?
It was an element of both. I was holding my breath for a blackbird. I really did want a blackbird. Although not a Black Hawk, no, definitely the blackbird. Yeah. And I was, you nailed it. I was a little bit worried about capacity. I was, all my searches were leading to 650s. And I just didn't want, I have no doubt it would have made it. I just didn't want to be stuck on a 650. I wanted a big sports cruiser, and similar to yourself, with your rationale behind buying one. I've always liked the bigger bikes, but never really wanted to outlay the money for a nice modern new one. So this is a nice run.
Bit of a taste. A tipple.
Yeah.
To sum it up, you've bought the ZZR 1200 because you had less than a week to go. Panicked, couldn't get a blackbird.
I had
V-Strom fell through at the last minute.
I had an FJR lined up. He messaged me about 7:30 at night saying, "Sorry, mate, sold."
Ooh, was he sorry though?
I don't think so.
No. Did you take any solace in that apology? Did it really?
It didn't.
No.
Panic was my immediate reaction.
I was having a really good time with you because obviously at the track I'd already bought a bike.
Yeah, which you didn't allude to. Yeah.
I've convinced you that I hadn't. Literal panic in your demeanour. The types of bikes that you were talking about and like the scattered nature of it was like you were shotgun purchasing. Like you were going to come home with a bike that weekend.
I did dabble into non-Japanese style bikes as far as the search.
Yeah, well, you do like a foreign beauty.
I do like my Euros. Yes. I like my Euros, but
specifically Italy.
I love Italy.
Yeah.
I love Ducati.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get an old monster, but then also, as I detailed before, I wanted to make it, and I think those two are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, and you're not going to get a 1200 for the budget either, so.
Oh, it was a small capacity monster. Yeah, like 659 Lambs approved monster.
I mean, to be fair, that would have chopped this thing.
I still think quicker than yours, but less likely to make it. I had a list. We did a lot of research. I had a list of about 7 different models of bike, and it came to push came to shove.
Yep.
This bike was listed, and I was the owner within 2.5 hours of it being listed.
That reeks of desperation, that.
I was there to buy.
Yep.
I was there to buy.
You really did have a reek about you of a man easily separated from his cash.
Yeah. So you
were bait at that point.
Yeah. On Sunday, I messaged V-Strom 1000 and said, I can't pay your asking price. I can't pay it.
Great old Silver Fox.
I actually was willing to go to 4.7 to buy that.
And that's a $300 cam setup and maintenance.
Yeah, which I would have done a service at minimum. So that was me sleeping on a tarp.
Under a tarp.
Under a tarp.
Wrapped in a tarp. Two tarp combo. 2 tarp combo.
No pillow. Using my jumper as a pillow.
Wrapped in a tarp.
So
quality tarp though. Quality. That's $100 each tarp.
This ticked all the boxes. It had the range.
Yep.
Had a 23 litre tank. Used about 6 litres per 100, so a good 300 plus kilometre range out of it as long as you don't use the throttle too much.
Yep. And you're thinking Chris has got a phaser, so this will take care of it.
Yeah, well, when we were talking about some of the challenges we might encounter across the way, I was thinking, well, I need to compete. I wanted to compete in as many of those as possible.
Yeah, that's good. That's exactly what I wanted you to think.
So I'm ready for drag racing. I'm ready for...
You definitely are.
I'm ready for 0 to 100s.
Yep. I'm ready for a good time.
You're ready for a solid cruise, almost sitting on the ground.
Can't wait. Okay, so and for me, so why did I buy? Metric cruisers are literally one of the most unloved motorcycles in the entire breadth of two-wheeled.
Did you know that going in?
Yes, I was banking on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean,
so that was the buyer's strategy.
I knew I could get a cruiser in the price range. It was more just a case of how I just wanted as much motor as I could get, honestly, for
Okay.
how much money I wanted to spend, which was really, to be honest, I didn't want to go more than $4,000 because I wanted the comfort of the bike to extend into my camping setup.
Yeah.
So you paid $4,300? Did you?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. 4.5 all in.
4.5.
Yeah, because they paid the rego for
Oh
me.
yeah, 4.5. Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm 4, but then I had to pay the rego.
Yeah.
Do a couple other bits of it. So we're close, but I had a bit of an edge, which was enough.
You had about a $300 edge.
It was enough for me to get. So I've gone for the tent instead of the swag.
Yeah.
I've gone for a self-inflating mattress.
Yeah.
And a couple of gadgets that were probably completely unnecessary. But I'm hoping to extend the comfort throughout from the moment I get up in the morning, have a big stretch, slide the boots on,
Wet, probably.
forward controls, straight into that beautiful sunny morning, breakfast,
delicious.
comfort, big bucket comfort seat, and then at the end of the day, cracking a tinny, setting up the tent, which will take 2 seconds, I'm sure of it. We'll film that next episode. Straight into the beautiful tent, beautiful bed, no compromise on any of the setup. The amount of stuff I've managed to squeeze into this $5,000 challenge is unbelievable, I think, to be fair. And some of the things you'll see about this bike when we get the chance to take you through it, it doesn't have a clock, doesn't have a fuel gauge. It literally has nothing. It's got like a speedo, it's got a trip meter, and it's got a couple of lights. The indicator barely switches off, which you can attest
Witnessed
for today.
it. Yeah.
It's got a check engine light. I don't even know what would illuminate that, to be honest, because I don't know, like maybe oil pressure. That'd probably be about it. It's got a low oil light. Just sensing a theme here. It has a neutral light and it has an indicator light. That's it. That's my
lights.
entire, and it's all down here on the tank. So you're not even. That's why I'm obliviously riding along with my indicators on.
Well,
Absolutely no idea.
You don't have to see the speedo. You know you can't speed.
Well, that's the thing. That's how I feel on this thing. It's like nothing matters. Yeah, my indicator's on. Gives. There's clearly a small community of punters that really enjoy their metric cruise, and you can't deny the value. You know, you get all 300 kilos. Think about the dollar to weight. You know, it's probably worth more than scrap steel.
Mine's not too dissimilar in weight.
How much?
So mine's 267.
That's a lot.
Did you not know?
I suppose you got all the fluids and all that.
Did you not know?
No, I didn't realise.
So
that.
wet weight, 267.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as heavy though.
No, well, it's
it's
a bit more nimble. You're up a
no, it's
little
not
bit
nimble.
higher.
It's up high. It's got more leverage. Definitely ain't. I wouldn't call it nimble, that bike.
Well, I call it nimble.
It's nimble compared to the King Junior.
Yeah, the king, the prince. So
what are we naming? Have you got a name for it yet?
Yeah. So I'm going with Jumba. And if you look up Jumba, and we'll put it in the footage now.
That was the
from
the
Lilo and
cartoon
Stitch.
character.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah, and if we had a head-on and tail-on photo, a very close resemblance.
Interesting.
So we've got Jumba and we've got Prince heading across the Nullarbor.
Prince, it's enough linkage to the King though. You can't say King Junior though.
Came out of the King.
It's like the Wish King.
That's offensive.
The King
of Wish.
No, the King from Wish.
The King from Wish.
Yeah. Like you ordered a Road King on Wish.
This is the Wish.com
This is what you get.
Road King.
This is your.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think that's
This is your 114.
Your Wish.com.
Your 114 Screaming Eagle kit. So, how about maintenance? So you've purchased the bike. Did you have any concerns upon your initial inspection? Have you found anything or done anything subsequent?
Yeah, so initially when we were on the search, run a PPSR, found it was a repairable write-off.
Ooh.
Used it strategically in the negotiation process. Managed to pick it up for 4.5. Took a punt on that, 100%. And the only concern I had when riding it away was the suspension setup was very poor. So I took it to a friend of mine, Steve, and he was kind enough to sort the preload and sag, re-level the bike out for me, my weight and the weight of the gear that I'm planning on taking over. And in doing so, also found the muffler hanger was snapped.
Ooh.
And the exhaust was resting on the centre stand. So
it's not where you want it.
It's not where you want it. Yeah. No. Took it to a good friend Roberto at Clean Ride, who was more than happy to help me out for the first probably 4 minutes, and then for the remaining hour was less than happy. about it, and refused to take any money for it. So thank you very much.
Is that just because he doesn't want the liability, or?
I'd say it's a big part. It plays a big part, absolutely. Everyone wants to separate themselves from these two bikes, I think, is a common trend.
We've seen it, we have seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, in terms of maintenance, so, you know, when I think about this bike, what do I think? And there's this classic meme, I don't know if you've seen it, that it ain't much, but it's honest work.
I have seen the meme.
That's exactly what I think about when I see and get on this steed. Look, there are some sort of questionable parts to it, you know. It is a $4,000 1100cc, you know, mid-2000s cruiser, so you know there are some issues. It has been dropped on the right side. There's a ding in the pipe. It's got a couple of little scratches. Corner of the brake levers had a bit of a nick. A few other little scratches. But yeah, the biggest one for me is the front tyre. So the front tyre is, given that we're about to do near on or just over 7,000 k's. From Perth to Phillip Island and back again, definitely I'm going to need a tyre. So that's been booked in. Unfortunately, I've got to buy a brand new tyre and have that fitted. So that's coming in at about $180. I'm none too pleased about that.
No, and we're going.
That's eating into my, you know, air mattress pump. And sort of mood lighting.
The LED lighting,
it's really starting to pull back some of those luxuries, and I'm starting
the chandeliers going to be returned
because I've shelled out for these things. I'm just going to be leaving them at home needlessly, so that's going to be a bit of a shame. Battery, I'm a bit funny with. It does have a specific starting procedure that I've now. I need to admit this. I knew nothing about metric cruisers. I knew nothing about this specific bike. I didn't do nearly enough research on which ones were better than others. I just tried to find one that felt good. So mate, look, I'm not concerned, honestly. I think I could put just about any grade of petrol in that thing and it would fire, you know, roughly.
We might follow that challenge then.
Well, let's put the lowest octane in.
Better touch
I did say petrol. You know.
Is there 85 octane? Is that a thing?
Let's find, if someone has like a 3-year-old 20-litre jerry can sitting out the back, lives in Perth, hit us up. We'll come and grab it up here. We'll pay bottom dollar.
Bottom dollar,
and we'll
just
probably
like the
take
bike.
the jerry can as well because we're probably going to need it. Because I don't know quite what my range is. So I did mention I've got no gauges, no instrumentation. I don't even have a low fuel light. But what I do have is a handy reserve switch for the fuel tank.
Okay.
Manual sort of tap, not a switch. No electronics. You don't want to.
No. So I've got a tap as well.
Yeah, so I've got a tap, but the only time you know that it's actually running out, and I had my wife on the back the other week actually when we were coming up to film episode 1, and I knew I ran out of the main tank of fuel because the bike just stopped.
Okay. Yep. No light.
No, on the 4 lanes of Great Eastern Highway. No light, just stop. But just because you're on the King from Wish, it's sort of no worries.
No worries, just that tap and away you go.
Your indicator's probably already on because the switch doesn't really work to turn it off. So people are already like wary of you, and you've got a real presence about you.
You do. You know? I mean, it's notable.
Yeah.
The presence.
I think the helmet, which really matches in with the.
Yeah, and the
Ulysses
will see
the Ulysses sticker on the back.
Yeah. The viewers will see your helmet and jumper.
They will.
Which isn't just
iconic, I would say.
For this footage, iconic. That's quite normal.
It's literally all I have. So I don't have a lot of don't have a lot more gear.
Yeah, so
all in all, as long as it's rolling and the tap's on the right setting, your fuel, happy days, just trucks along.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, brings a smile to my face and pretty much no one else's, so that's perfect.
That's exactly what you're chasing.
Exactly. So you spent 4.5?
Spent 4.5, yep.
So it doesn't leave a lot for getting the bike out and a camping setup. So what are your plans for it? What are you doing to it?
So I've got a basic service, oil and filter. Mm-hmm. I've got a strategy of not looking at anything else because if I look and it needs replacement, I can't afford it anyway. So
yeah, well, you looked at your suspension and your exhaust fell off. So
exactly right. So ignorance is bliss for the remainder. No, my strategy was after that buy the most efficient swag I could,
cheapest
for fitment. It had to be price relevant. It had to be cheap, not wish. Not wish, but not far from it.
Ooh.
Yeah, what I have done though is I've done the Nullarbor a few times now, and it does get cold.
It does.
So I invested quite heavily in the most quality sleeping bag I could, with a comfort rating well into the minus temperatures, which we won't be seeing, but I figure I can unzip.
Bit of degassing, bit of purge.
So
You're going to literally choke yourself out in there. This would be the Duchess of Dutch ovens. That is going to be on the nose. So cheap bag, cheap oil.
No, so after the purchase, 4.5, and obviously had a limited budget to go for the 5K challenge. So got the most cost-effective swag I could that came with a waterproof bag that is designed to fit on a bike.
Mm-hmm.
Bought an oil and filter. Mm-hmm. Nothing more. Yep. I didn't look. I haven't checked the air filter, and I won't check the air filter.
Yep.
Just in case it does need replacement. That's future Nick's problem.
That.
And then invested every cent I had left after that point into the warmest sleeping bag I could. I got a sleeping bag that if I had to sleep outside, I could probably survive a night.
You may need to. Just judging by the state of your swag and the coffin that you've bought, you may basically be sleeping.
It's going to feel like it, like I've slept outside here.
The King from Wish came with a couple of saddlebags and a, let's face it, sturdy rear rack. Like you have a good lean on that.
Sturdy rear rack.
Compared to yours.
Mine is concerningly unsturdy.
Let's hope we're not doing the 1 tonner challenge.
I reckon if I sat on the back, the rack wouldn't be there anymore.
Your rack?
My rack.
Yeah, I reckon
your rack would
sit on
survive,
mine,
yeah.
And I don't think it would change the riding dynamics any. Yeah, I'm already well endowed with accessories included.
Yes.
Large leather panniers.
Allegedly waterproof. Should we test that?
Resistant.
Yep.
I'm going to resist the urge to test that.
I'm going to resist the urge to not.
Sturdy cargo rack.
Sturdy.
None of us can deny.
No.
The rack off is already
I think
best rack.
Best rack on the right.
Best rack. First award. Best rack award.
Best rack award.
Look at this puppy.
Your rack's looking weathered.
Yeah, but functional.
Yeah,
it's still got a perkiness to it. You know, yours
saggy.
On the face of it looks like it's meant to do work. But when you apply any pressure to the rack, it's immediately obvious that it's a wish rack.
I'm packing light on the rack.
What do you think it's safe for? I reckon a bag of groceries. I'm saying 8 kilos. You wouldn't want a carton.
Well, judging on the gear, I'll be strapping about 6.5 kilos to it. So hopefully that.
When we get to Adelaide, we'll get a block of West End and see if you can take it from one end of South Australia to the other successfully. We'll trade out
the camping gear.
That can go in the support vehicle. And you have a block of West End.
A block of West End. Travel.
See if you can do it.
Travel from the west.
The rack off. And I'll put a pallet on.
We will have to look for what challenges we'll have.
Definitely a rack off.
It
might be the only thing I'll win. So
we'll have a rack off on the trip. Something to look forward to in one of our future episodes.
Yeah, maybe that and a tractor pull or something.
Yeah.
No, definitely the start. I want you to be rackless by the time.
I want to be rackless.
I want to be snapped off.
Just me with my gear strapped to my gut.
I just want West End cans all over Port Adelaide as we blow through into Handorf.
Yeah, it's just West End.
Just one of them truck spill fucking photos that comes across. So what I have bought is so I've invested in some quality bags, waterproof duffels.
Yep.
I've gone the tent route instead of the swag, so I've bought a nice hiking tent, double skin, with a bit of a what do they call that front freaking thing? The
hutch.
Yeah, there's another word. Vestibule. So all of my crap, I have plenty of room for it to be nice and dry and safe.
Mine's called a hutch.
I'm repurposing a whole bunch of stuff that I've already got like camping, but like family grade, like, you know, 100 mil self-inflating mattress.
It's good.
Decent sleeping bag, not quite as epic as yours, but I don't think I'll need it to be as epic as yours. I'm going to have a full-size pillow, so like I'm just grabbing literally a pillow off the bed, like a quality. Might even bring two, to be honest, just to piss you off. Might actually do a double.
I might need to borrow one, so it's not pissing me off. I'll
Are we
steal
selling it for $200 a night?
We're renting it out at a premium.
So quality, you know, home grade stuff is what I'm really looking for. I've got a fitted sheet on my.
A fitted sheet.
Yep.
Did you bring the kitchen sink?
No. I've just stuck to just the sleeping.
Yeah. Okay.
I did buy a spice rack.
You bought a spice rack.
I just figure racks. You know, I'm all about
racks on racks.
Rack boy, you know. King of the racks. I bought as I did mention to you at least, I have a mattress pump, just to make things a little bit more rapid, I would say.
Rapid.
So I've got one of I don't know if you've seen the ones, because we've stored these self-inflating mattresses rolled up for a long time now, a couple of years since they've had a good workout, and they do like compress. So you're meant to actually store them fully inflated somewhere. I rolled it out the other week and it was not really
100
inflating,
mil.
not really self-inflating. It was more like 10 mil,
not inflating.
10 mil. And it's probably going to take 2 days to inflate. So what I've got is the actual sack that it comes in, the sort of cover for it has a valve on it, and you can plug that into the mattress and sort of pump, like you essentially roll air into the sack and then pump it and then do the same again. But let me just tell you, that gets old pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, pumping a sack in your hiking tent. No, I'm not doing any sack pumping.
No sack pumping in the hiking.
I'll draw the line at sack pumping.
So no sack pumping on your Rack City
really,
trip.
keep that to a minimum. Like keep that to a real bare minimum. So I've gone with the $40 sack blower.
Yeah. All right. So okay. It's your battery operated sack assistance.
Yeah.
For the trip.
And deflator. It sucks and blows. Yeah. $40. That's a long time investment. Isn't it? That's a lovely long time.
Oh, 40. So tyre, rego,
Tyre 200, call it.
So the $500 I spent extra on the bike, you've chewed up.
I've blown it. Yeah, I've blown it. Yeah. Well, the tyre, you know.
You knew.
Had to do it.
The rego, you knew.
The tyres are piss off. The rego I had to do, but that was only $150, whatever, for the 3 months. Yeah. Ooh. There was nothing. Bargain. In the scheme of things. What else was I looking at? I was getting carried away, honestly, as I tend to do. So there's been a lot of parcels. Parcels, hasn't there, Jade? There's been a lot.
And next episode, we're going to dig a little bit more into those camping setups. Yeah. That episode for me will be quite short. There is not a lot to my setup.
So in terms of what I'm kitting it out with, bags.
Yep.
Tent.
Yep.
Quality tent.
Quality tent. Quality mat.
Genuine tent. Quality mat. Reasonable sleeping bag.
Yep.
Full-size pillow or two from home. I think it's going to be 2. I think I'll actually need 2 just to keep the integrity of the bags that I've got.
Yeah, they are big.
Yeah. So I think I'll need them just to keep things... good quality straps.
Yep.
Tension straps.
Yeah.
Keep everything under control because there's a lot of gear on the back.
There is.
The rack, you know, whilst it is sturdy, you know, it's not 2 metres wide. So I'm trying to use it as a ute tray. Yeah. And it's actually more like a saucepan size. I have spent $8 on a throttle lock, which interferes massively with my
everything.
Mirrors.
Just operation of the vehicle. It's not good.
Safe operation of the vehicle. Yeah. So I do need to make some amendments to that.
That
mirror.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of it.
Get rid of the mirror.
Yeah. Relocate the mirror. Yeah. So that's really me.
So very different bikes and very different camping setups then.
I've got a shaft drive. Literally got like a...
Yeah, and that's probably one of the big differences is yours is shaft drive, mine's chain drive.
Don't know anything about it. Don't know anything about metric cruisers. And I'd love for anyone to share any tips or tricks. I'm sure you've been the same. If you've owned one of these bikes, know anything about them, if there's anything we should be looking at, if we're too cocky, let us know. Yeah, we're about 100%. To embark on something pretty special. We know, you know, we've talked about it a couple of times. We know everyone that we know has probably talked about doing it, something like this. You know, it's that sort of the ultimate in terms of
What if you just said yes? Let's do
what
it.
if instead of just doing, like you said, instead of just doing the standard holiday,
Yeah.
what if you
Use all your annual leave on a painful ride
that
across
might be
Australia.
absolutely dog shit.
It could be a absolute
I think we've all
disaster.
seen some of the car shows and bike shows where they've done similar challenges.
They romanticise it, and let's find out if that's true or
I think
false.
this will be one of these trips that we look back and laugh, but at the time, I don't think we'll see it quite the same way.
Maybe we won't. Maybe we
That's
won't.
the reason I wanted to have the budget a bit lower. You know,
Yeah.
so if my XR 600 did so happen to sort of give up the ghost in Eucla, I can just lean it on a picket fence in Eucla and
buy
catch the
another
next
here.
bus that comes through to Melbourne.
To Melbourne.
So next episode, which will come out before we leave,
Yep.
we'll or just before probably.
Yeah.
We'll take
Probably
us
similar time next week.
take us through the itinerary,
Yeah.
show you the cam setups that we've ended up with, show you the bike's all loaded, answer any other questions we get between now and then, and we'll be trying to release videos on the journey as well throughout the trip. We are looking at scheduling a farewell
Yes.
gala day.
Yeah.
When are we doing it? Sunday?
Sunday. Next Sunday.
Sunday the 2nd of October.
Yep.
Camfield
Yep. Camfield.
time, lunchtime.
Midday.
So all being well, and by being well I mean I've got a front tyre on and my bike starts. We'll have the bikes loaded. We'll be down there for a couple of cheeky pints at midday.
Yep.
If you're interested in coming down, having a laugh, come and have a look at the bikes.
All right, so that's it, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in again for episode 2. We look forward to getting episode 3 out,
Yep.
and like we said at the start of the video, you know, we've got a name. We've got all the socials, so Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Follow, share us around. We'd like to take you on this journey with us, and ultimately we'd like to celebrate at MotoGP with a few people watching on. So tune in, and thank you for those that have tuned in so far and shared us around.
Yeah, if you can make it on Sunday, fantastic. If you're going to the GP, even better, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come and see us. We've managed to, we'll go into some detail next week. We've had a massive fail at the last minute with our camping
we did.
arrangements for the MotoGP at the track. So we've got a bit of a workaround. A couple of local legends have been amazing to help us out at the Death Knock, to be fair.
Death Knock, absolutely, yeah. Caught up in
So
the
yeah, if you're
cancellation.
heading down, if you're involved with that, give us a shout. We'd love to catch up, have a beer.